Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Game Brigade. And I'm your host, Brian Greer. And on this show, we do reviews, previews, playthroughs, and have conversations about our favorite board games. So if you're new here and you want to support the channel, please hitting that subscribe button. Today, we are doing the second installment of the Kickstarter Kickoff. That is where we talk about what's coming up this week in Kickstarter. First off, this is supposed to be a Monday episode, but I'm filming this on Monday night, so I apologize that I'm a day behind. I had a Monday upload. If you haven't seen that, that is going to be up here for Terraforming Mars, the Ares Expedition. Please check out that video. I think it's a really good video for Terraforming Mars if you haven't already checked it out. Anyways, so this video is supposed to be what is coming up this week in Kickstarter that I am most interested in and that I'm going to keep my eye on. I have found that some of these games usually will develop into a should you back or is it worth backing like video, but I really wanted to take a second to dive into this and talk about these games that are coming up and make sure they're on your radar because, you know, if I find them interesting, you might find them interesting too. So without further ado, let's start with the first game, and that is Batman: The Dark Knight Returns board game. So I will say that last week was a lot more exciting than this week. We had a lot of games to cover, and they were, I felt like, games that I'm most likely going to back. So Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, the board game, is an interesting game, and the reason I want to talk about it is because it's maybe the only game that I would consider that is entirely a solo game. And the reason this game is entirely solo is the developer basically said, if you're going to be playing Batman and you're playing this co-op, one person's playing Batman and then who's the other person playing? Like, you're always the sidekick. And that didn't make sense to the developer that if you're going to make a Batman game, everyone wants to play Batman, which I agree with. So this game is a solo-based game where you're going to be playing 4 scenarios in a legacy-style game where you're going to be facing villains from Batman's past. Now, the only thing I don't care for about this game is it's Batman coming out of retirement, and they've got this dad bod Batman, and I am not digging this style. In terms of comic book heroes, I would say Batman is probably one of my favorite comic book heroes. I love how edgy he is, even though it's completely opposite of my personality. As my wife says, I always tell my wife, I'm a Dark Knight, and she goes, no, you're not. You're a paladin. Let's be real. So there you go. There's some behind the scenes info. So anyways, this one I am keeping an eye on. Will I back this game? Probably not. I really want to see the campaign more fleshed out. But I'm interested in checking it out. So that's why we're getting on this one. And this one, I believe, releases to the day this video is live. This should be released the 23rd. So the next one I want to talk about is Root, the Marauders expansion. So Root is a game that I have backed all of them. So I have all the Roots over here. But Root is an interesting game. So I wanted to kind of delve into this deeper in terms of Root and whatnot. But I don't know. How much do I go into depth into these videos? And how much is this video supposed to be intended to just inform? Root is a great game, but it's really asymmetrical. So in terms of a war game, when you're thinking asymmetrical player factions, I want Root to be like the furthest you can be in terms of different functioning factions. And that could be either really good or really bad, depending on your play group. And so what I like about the Marauder expansion is it's increasing the variety and the variability in the 2-player game mode, as well as adding some, they call them down here, hirelings, to assist with the 2-player experience. So basically, Root right now is an amazing game at 3 to 4 players, but it's hard to get to the table and it's hard to teach because everything is so different. So being able to play the game even at 2 players and have some AI bots or having some additional chess-like features with the hirelings is enticing. So I definitely want to check out this more when it launches. And I'm very curious who is going to be doing the content creation for this one and doing the previews. So this is the Root Marauder expansion, also releasing on the 23rd. So Tiny Epic Dungeons is the next one I'm going to be looking at. Tiny Epic games in general are pretty good. One, they are very inexpensive comparatively to other big games, even though it's a tiny game. But two, they're actually also very good. Like Gameland Games, I believe. Yeah, Gameland Games. They're the ones who release these games, and they basically are able to complete a very solid game experience in a small box. So Tiny Epic is interesting to me. I definitely want to check it out. Although I have a lot of dungeon experience games right now that I need to play, first and foremost, like Bloodborne. So I don't necessarily need to add another one to my collection, but I do think it's worth checking out and interesting. So if you are looking for an inexpensive, small box dungeon experience that is variability in terms of the way the tiles are set up, this might be one to take a look at. So let's do that one next. Robinson Crusoe has a book of adventures coming out. I have honestly never played Robinson Crusoe. The one time I was going to play it at a friend's house, he didn't know how to play it, and so we all came over for game night, and he didn't know how to play to teach us. So then we're trying to watch it play, or we were trying to watch it played, I think, and it just didn't happen. Like, this was too big of a game. He needed to learn how to play it. But from everything I've been told about Robinson Crusoe, it's an amazing game. And this is a book of adventures adding more scenarios. So I do think it's interesting. I think that's fun to be able to have a mini expansion pack that's going to be just adding adventures to the game. So I just want to shout this one out. But because I don't have Robinson Crusoe, I'm definitely not going to be back in this one. And I'm not really interested in picking up Robinson Crusoe. So the final game I want to talk about is actually not coming to Kickstarter, but I have an interview coming up with Toby he's the co-founder for Shadowborn Games, and we cover some of these HIPS models. Now, these are not the HIPS models, but I actually did an interview regarding these models, and that video will be live the same day that this video goes live. So if you have watched this one and you want to see more information about Oathsworn and kind of learn some more behind the scenes stuff with exclusive talking, watch that video too, because I think that'd be pretty cool to check out. So that's just a little plug for my second video today. And that's a bonus video. This is the first time that we've actually launched 2 videos in a single day. So this was a quick episode for Game Brigade Kickoff. I know that I think this is pretty good. I think these quick little quick takes about games that are coming up are kind of fun and interesting. So we're going to end with that. If this is something helpful to you, remember to hit that subscribe button and do all the things. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think in terms of the Kickstarters this week. We've got a lot of content coming out this week, so make sure you stay tuned. Hit the notification bell if you guys haven't done that. I was actually super surprised on the last video that we did, the algorithm in terms of how many people came and watched the video from the notification. So that notification squad, thank you. You guys are like my favorite people. So thank you for that. I'm going to go and wrap this up. So if you guys want to hit that subscribe button and let me know all the great things about the video, just let me know in the comment section down below. I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye-bye.